and most likely headed towards Sigma line here as well here. So definitely is going to be fighting it out towards the very, oh no. And they all get inside of it immediately, is able to get some decent amount of loot here. And it looks like JDG and the rest of the team is going to try to see if they can fight for the scraps right now, as Hadi is going to be able to pop his ulti just like that. And it uses it towards the tunnel to create so much damage for some of these players, waiting for some of the other ones to actually be able to get out. And it looks like now they're going to catch him on the outskirts here, definitely giving JDG Tuts a shot at maybe getting eliminated here. It's not looking good for him here as he's slowly closing in the timing here by himself, trying to whirlwind it. Oh, wait, hold on, Kiki, trying to hold on for as long as possible here. Might be able to potentially slam it. Both of them don't having anything on them. They don't have any heals. They don't have any weapons on them. XCG risked it for the biscuit, and it was not the best call. JDG is able to keep the game alive for themselves, but sadly, they missed out on one of their players.
GG's on the chase here. CJS, no armor to speak of, but he is not deterred. He's ready to chase them to the ends of the earth. I think he spotted them out just there, grappling away. CJS grappling after him here. JDG, two-man strong. If they do get caught up here, it could be kind of bad. Slowing their early game down substantially. CJS looking to try and make that happen. The nunchuck tech chase, chasing him down. The F1's going to come through to help CJS not get taken down here, but a huge parry coming out onto GG. 3-3-0, forced to try and disengage, run away. CJS now committing that ultimate here. Sends out the Furin Blast, tries to catch the zipping, but unable to do so. Unfortunately, Tutik fighting them off with that Zai ultimate. Here it is, the tech chase coming through. The Mortal Defiance proc is going to save him for the moment, but not for good. He is going to be taken down, and it looks as though ZDI is told to go and resurrect himself elsewhere and come and join the fight. Kiki now taking the brunt of this damage from GG. 3-3-0, and the LXM trying to take him down. Kiki desperately trying to stay on his feet. It's rough. He does manage to get that ultimate off yet again. The overhold coming through onto 3-3-0. The ultimate as well coming down now, healing them all up, making it possible to continue fighting here. Kiki just throwing out these fan RMBs left and right, trying to do anything that he can to chip away at the enemy team. LXM will finally get taken down here, and now CJS having been picked up. He does get the slam there. Tutik does get taken down now. These salty runbacks going crazy. CJS doesn't have ultimate available just yet. The F1 comes through to keep him healthy for the moment, the damage reduction. But I don't think it's going to be enough. The parry from Kiki winning them this engagement. 3-3-0 gets parried as well. And JDG are going to turn this fight around. LXM now, having used his resurrection, he's coming in. He wants to try and salvage it. He's going to try and take them over to where 3-3-0 is going to resurrect, I'd imagine. Or perhaps not. Oh, no, he's... yeah, no, here it is. Here he is. 3-3-0 coming into the fray. The RMB on that staff is going to lock him down for the moment, but a parry comes through yet again. And 3-3-0, he just resurrected and he's already dead. This is going to be the end of GG. In our fourth game, another parry as well, and JDG fully eliminate GG in our fourth game of the day. Already a team down, Derby. Holy moly.
Sometimes it can really get that insane that fast. You go from something where it really can change the game just that quickly, and all of a sudden, somebody else is actually losing that opportunity here. And you really have to be careful in terms of like how certain things are really getting played in certain instances, whereas like other ones, it's like, certain other ones can really get caught up in some tough spaces. And I think that's one of those moments here where a lot of people really have to pay attention, especially with their team. And in those moments there, it can get real bad real quick. So obviously with that could really suffice a lot of different things here. And obviously that became the worst of the worst.
Indeed, it did. Also, just I glanced over at the chat, and I think we have a name, Darby. Aeromech.
What was it?
Aeromech. Aeromech for the Hardy variation.
Oh, that's gas. Okay.
Aeromech. I that's like fair.
That. I see it. Okay.
I see
Aeromech. I like that.
Credit goes to MOB in the chat.
Aeromech.
Let's go,
I like
Aeromech. I think that's the one.
I really like
I think
Aeromech.
that's the one.
That's a good one. Aeromech is a good choice. I appreciate that one.
But hey, speaking of Aeromech, here we are. XCG on that Aeromech composition. Just looking to loot up here, having been taken down early on in the game. They managed to find themselves some blue armors for the moment. But they are still picking up scraps. Nothing substantial just yet. KLA has also have 3 blue armors, but they've managed to pick themselves up 4 eliminations, it seems. So they're pretty happy with that so far. JJH, a team that's done extremely well in the previous game. 3 kills under their belt. But I think we're missing out on the big picture here. JDG sitting on 9 eliminations off the back of that salty run back, having picked up 3 eliminations beforehand, are currently leading the lobby. Actually insane to have 9 kills already, and we're only a few minutes into the game, 23.5 minutes left remaining. JDG could potentially turn this game into an absolute banger, potentially securing themselves a 20 bomb if they continue along this path. Now WBG looking for the fight onto KLA. Baige does lose all of his armor now. Is going to get stunned up by the Tessa ultimate. Are they going to be able to follow up? And they are! He tries to position himself just at the edge of the Tumult ult, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to save himself. But a huge R&B focus coming through, absolutely destroying them. KLA was not ready for that one, and Axiao may have just saved the fight, able to equalize it here. 17S and QGG are likely going to be able to pick up their teammate, though, as they are the purchasers of this Moonbane. They're going to be able to stand in there and resurrect their teammate. There they are, 3-man strong. But TE lurking at the top of that tall tree, looking to potentially drop down with a Viper ultimate, I'd imagine. Sleepwalker, though, unfortunately getting staggered by that Tessa ultimate, is going to get taken down. But the ballistas coming through, and they spotted out where they teleported to. QGG so low, forced to grapple away and leave his teammate behind. OUG hot on their tail, trying to chase them down, but he's cut noise. Is QGG gonna get spotted out? SS doesn't find him here. Looks as though they're gonna find themselves another player, Han, but he's full HP. He's not the person he's looking for. Looks as though 17S has been found by OUG here, though.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be able to.
There it
capture
is.
that, and really, that's gonna be free for him as well here. OUG able to capture. That's their second so far here. It's kind of insane to see how the points are for how this transition has been so far. I mean, look at the bottom pack right here, 19.4, 19.2, and a 15.2. TE down at the very bottom is definitely a team I didn't really expect to end up all the way down at the bottom as they find QGG. KLA eliminated. He's going to have a shot, though, at going through another one here, but OUG is absolutely just maneuvering through it so far here with that amount of confidence here. But JDG starting off strong with those 9 eliminations here. It's been good to see. Question is for you, what do you think has been what has been your expectation coming into this game, and at the same time, who do you think is looking really good going into game number 4?
Well, I think this Realm of Yang is going to be a huge deciding factor, as I think Wolves on this traditional Transformer composition, if they're able to stay alive and get to that end game situation with a few kills under their belt, they're likely to come away with a very, very high scoring game. And if they're able to win this Yang, they'll be able to scale up faster and prepare themselves for that scenario. Wolves EG did get knocked up a little bit, losing some health there, losing some shield, but it's Kurumi there with that V2 to keep him healthy. Now the ultimate is going to be coming out from EG, looking to get some of these grabs. XEM now out of that UA channel, and Kiki does get grabbed up here. No follow-up with the ranged weapons there, unfortunately, but he is going to be able to secure that regrab as the staff R&B facilitated it perfectly. Kiki, though, does survive this. as the Matariel does make it very difficult for them to follow up on these grabs. EG now coming out of that ultimate with not very much armor to speak of. However, I'd imagine that this Kurumi is going to be getting her ultimate back relatively soon. Cannon shots coming in, trying to poke them down. ZK does have that tether active, sends it out, and now huge parry coming out from ZK. Tutik eating a whole bunch of damage. Kiki also getting eliminated in the back. Tutik going for that overhold. ZK now, with that ultimate that I just mentioned, is able to pop it. However, they do lose EG, but it's equalized yet again. 2 versus 1. Tutik, there's nothing that he can do. And Wolves are going to take this Realm of Yang. And exactly what I said. They take this Realm of Yang. They're one step closer to securing a very strong endgame and scaling up into that situation. Very, very good for them. Golden nunchucks for XEM, and we've seen time and time again, this guy's the GOAT. He's been popping off, he's been doing the best he can in those end games. And hey, I'm all in. I'm all in on Wolves. I reckon they've got this one sorted, especially considering that even though JDG was able to secure 9 eliminations before that Realm of Yang, they went into Yang, got 1 kill, but they ended up getting taken down by their opponents. And unfortunately now they're in a Yang depletion situation, which could spell disaster for this team. But what do you think? What do you think about this game?
I mean, I think that this game overall, though, definitely can be a widespread deciding factor, depending on like how these teams are able to rotate it. And like you said before, it definitely depends on the Realm of Yang, but also that type of thing. Here comes the stun coming through as well, as it looks like it's going to at least hit towards at least one of the teams. As Kakaxi is going to be able to slam down here, but he's inside of the HUD here. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the favorite towards him here, as it doesn't really actually do anything. It looks like they're going to be able to work towards it here. Let's see if they can keep right back towards it here. And a nice hit. Kakaxi going to try to see if he can find him. Oh, but he ends up catching him with the stun off the outskirts. And then here comes Viper, trying to see if maybe he can capture him with it. Oh, and the stun hits everybody. It's not looking good for XCG's NIHQ. Actually, Kakaxi ends up catching up. And JL actually steals 2 eliminations. JL steals the entire team's kills away from DRG in this moment. Oh, my goodness. Stole it away. Just snatched it. Said, nah, you're good. I'll see you later. No, I'm going to take this away from you. What a shutdown. What a finish. He says, nah, you're not doing that. That's not how that works. I'm not going to let you. The amount of disrespect into that that's just ridiculous. He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do that. That was actually rude.
Hey. Anything goes on Morris Isle, as we've seen time and time again. JJH looking pretty strong so far. 4 kills under their belt. Godley, I'm excited to see this Justina do well, as Justina is one of those characters that can either do extremely well and get a crazy amount of value, or they end up just getting shut down completely, and they end up not really getting all that much for the team. So we're going to have to see if Godley is able to pull it off for the team. JDG is looking very rough for them here. Tutik actually makes a really good read here, going into the zone. I don't think he's doing it to try and go down to the storm damage. Wait, there's a Soul Bloom out here? Wait, what? How come there's Soul Blooms out here?
He must have known that.
That's crazy.
Definitely something he had probably in his back pocket for something.
But Soul Blooms, they have a timer on them anymore. They have a timer now. So they must have... I don't know how they knew there were Soul Blooms out here. That's crazy. They didn't revert the Soul Bloom changes, did they? I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm surprised that that's still up. Because the timer on the Yang depletion was already set to... Oh, no, wait. Okay, so I know what happened. Bowder had the Vermilion Bird's Might, right? And so they just let themselves die to the zone. And it's possible that
he
JDG
just might have walked up on a freebie. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think they must have had a bounty or something on that team, or spotted them out and chased them and saw them go down to the zone. and went over to where they died and were able to pick up those soul blues for free. That's actually so huge for JDG. Because otherwise they were cooked. They had no chance really, given their positioning on the map. That's insane. But we're gonna be going into our second round of game.
I definitely think it could be that collider like instinct as well that really can kind of come in, and it definitely has to like worry towards the next teams here. But so far here, I mean, it's definitely been some good good snatches happening for some of these teams here. It's been really good to see though. WBG is trying to waiting it out for the loot here. OUG still rooting through their loot as well here. Maybe they get the rebirth charm. Time to start scattering out of here. Ski ski. Scoo-doo, scoo-doo, doo-doo, doo-boo, boo-boo.
Sing it, W.
And it looks like they're going to go through it towards it. It looks like KLA. Oh, boy, wait. KLA actually ends up going and getting the pickup, at least from right there. And it looks like they get right back into that fight. Meanwhile, their other teammates are going to go for the quick heal here just so they can keep it going. Tut by himself for a second here. Nice split. Tesla's going to be able to go through with that. Oh, nice slam coming through as QGG actually ends up getting eliminated towards that. JDG, ZDI actually ends up catching the elimination as well towards this. Is not looking good for at least one of them here. Oh,
no.
KLA. Nice turnaround here. Good switch. Didn't let that really fold the rest of the team here. And they were able to keep the game alive for themselves and the rest of the team. JDG officially out of game number 4. In the lead, though, with the 12 eliminations. But knowing how these games go, we're definitely going to see some people take that top spot.
Yeah, looking at Wolves here. They're only up 1.1 behind them.
Wolves might win tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm looking at overall. Wolves is going to win tonight. I feel it. 3 times.
I believe.
3 times. Back to back to back. Zem has been at the top. Very last, almost last elimination. Technically 3 was almost close to the final. But still, Zem in that top 3, staying alive for the rest of the team the entire time. Also able to capture an elimination here and there. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those factors for sure leading into that game.
Wolves, the Wolf Pack. They've done an extremely good job so far today. And again, nothing too crazy. No 20 bombs, no MVPs under their belt just yet. But just playing good Naraka. Consistency, getting to those end games. There are some of these teams that have done extremely well in some games, but just not been able to find their footing in others. JL being one of them. They had an extremely good game in the first one, but since then haven't managed to put double-digit games on the board. And it's it just speaks to how solid Wolves has become as a team. You know, they've improved so much, and it's awesome to see. We've got a fight breaking out here between TE and KLA. Han committing that Viper ultimate, forcing the Wuchen to teleport himself and his teammates to safety. And it looks as though TE aren't going to look to try and find them and chase them down. JL lurking in the wings, looking to see if they can take advantage of a fight taking place. BBV lurking at the top of this tree, stalking them slowly, waiting to see if they can find an optimal third party. But I don't think either of these teams really want to fight at the edge of the zone here. The zone's going to be pushing them towards the safe zone here. BBV is chasing them down, though. Sandwiching JL here, or sandwiching KLA here could be pretty rough for them. BBV
might be pretty good for him, though, as JL is going to need a little bit of some more eliminations here. They have the 3. It looks like they'll be able to catch 17S potentially inside of this first fight here. Oh, nice move from 17S, able to dodge that. That could have been a pretty good start for Triple V here if they were able to find it. Sadly, not going to be able to here, as JL is going to decide to back off that. Probably a good choice there. Had a little bit of a striking moment here to maybe catch one slipping, but not enough, as WBG is going to get the chance to pick this up. Take a little bit of some shield damage and take a little bit of some heals just so they can pick this up, but it's almost done as it is. They'll be able to get some decent loot here. Hopefully be able to get something that's probably worth it. Most likely will.
They do have this buff. They're vibing.
Yeah, definitely a good vibe so far here. I think WBG is in a pretty decent position here.
They're trying to make use of these fireflies. So what Baige has done, he's used his ultimate and then picked up 2 fireflies that were going to get swallowed up by the storm there. See if he could potentially find a way to make use of it going into the zone. And they were kind of close to a team here, but they immediately disengaged, recognizing the potential threat. But I think at this point in the game, every team is just slowing down a little bit. They recognize the risk that comes with taking a fight at this point. It's not really worth it for the moment. A lot of it, I think, comes down to the fact that as the changes to Immortal War have been implemented, one of the big factors now is the timings at which the shop unlocks more purchasable items. You know, so at specific times during a game, the shop will then will unlock more items. You'll be able to buy more things, such as the gold armor, the golden soul jades, and etc. And a lot of teams tend to try and wait around for that to happen and see if they can pick up a golden armor so that they can scale up into the end game and be ready for that. So taking a fight is very dangerous, as you've got a lot of teams lurking, waiting to see if something goes down so that they can come in for that third party. KLA getting put on a little bit of a bad spot here. CXZ getting caught in the zone, going shopping. Sandwich between multiple teams. Bowder, looks as though they're lurking on top of a tree there. They're not looking for this engagement just yet. The Moonbane now coming down. Going to be deterring even more fighting, but we're going to be taking a look at a replay of one of the Realm of Yangs. JL up against Bowder. VVV having already used that F3 to try and reposition. Now the Matari ult comes through. F3 going to be coming out yet again. Bowder peak gets knocked up by it. VVV now using his ultimate, getting a third F3 ready to go. Avoids the F3 from Yeran, trying to space out, but he gets caught on the end of it. VVV responding in kind, catching Yeran with it. Now Jing does send a blue focus, but VVV's ready for it, getting a huge parry. May have won himself the fight here based off of that parry. Jing is incredibly low, but it's not to be. The fight gets turned around. JL now one man strong. He's trying his best, gets the huge parry, but no capitalization, unfortunately. And Bowder come away from that fight victorious. However, JL, they did manage to find themselves those soul blooms. They didn't go out of the game at that time. But now so many teams getting closer and closer. The space is filling up. There's not all that much room to work with. And who do you think is going to take this game, Darby? Looking at the teams,
I gotta say, I don't want to call it too early here. I would like for Wolves, but I think this one might be too early. I would like to see them most likely win 5 or 6 to really like certify that dub so far here. So right now, at least from what I can tell here, if I'm looking at like maybe some of the other places, some of the other opportunities here to really work through certain things, I'm currently trying to see what makes sense for some of these styles so far here in terms of what makes sense. And I think overall, when it comes to like a whole lot of like different aspects, this is tough, man. This is tough. XCG
Absolutely.
really doing well when it comes to really being able to get out of tough situations here. OUG really reading a lot of different things here, but not necessarily fully focused on getting those fights. This is the thing, man. I feel like sometimes it's not always about placement. You got to make sure to get some of those kills. And I feel like so when some people realize that they need to start pushing and then really getting those kills, it's like too late.
Yeah.
And it's like too late. Like it's too far of a gap to really get that dub. And that's the thing that I'm like, like that's the tough part, right? So I'm like, all right, if that's the case, and maybe certain things aren't necessarily working out correctly, that's where it gets a little bit more hesitant. And it looks like a lot of those pelts coming in from those cannon shots are really ricocheting all the way through Bowder. Bowder and then Peak has that ultimate here. They not the ultimate, but they have that rune. Really could be helpful for him here inside of this fight. KLA with 8 eliminations so far. JJH with 4. Tough call. Tough call. I think if I'm gonna go for a surprise here, I'm gonna say that Wolves is gonna stay in that second place of the kills. In terms of, or at least getting into the top 3 when it comes to it, because right now here, you know, 3 eliminations, they still have a lot of work to do, but they're really gonna see themselves like in that top 3 position. But I gotta say, I think if JJH really starts to put some pressure on some of these teams, I think they have an opportunity. And I feel as though JL could potentially pop off and put themselves right back up in the top of the leaderboard. They've done it once. They've done it again. They're in a decent position currently inside of this HUD up top. The circle most likely is going to favor that position depending on where the next circle leads to. So it depends on if they're forced to move or if they stay in this vicinity. They might possibly. But I think those are the 2 I'm most likely going to lock in right now. I think JJH or JL as it's so the 2 Js. I think the 2 Js of these teams, I think, has a pretty decent opportunity here. Oh, TE gets hit and outside of the circle here. Looks like from someone's bow. Absolutely explosive as Flames trying to see if they can garner any type of hits here from some of these other teams. Just doing a quick little world tour. Minute left on the clock. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be really interesting, you know. But I don't know. I think as of right now, that's what I'm looking at right now.
I think I have to say, looking at WBG, I think they're in a really strong position here. The fact that 2 of them have golden armor and they're on this sand siphon, I think they could definitely make something happen here with that Kurumi as the zone starts to close in, as there's less and less space. You know, one of the big things about Kurumi is that you need to stay inside the circle to actually get value out of it. But if there isn't any need to really run around and move too far away from your Kurumi circle, then you're going to get a lot of value. But we do have some skirmishes happening now. TE looking for this engagement. JJH, Flames not having his ultimate, does get blown up here. Now Chu Li is going to be demeched. TE actually receiving some pressure from the back there. Leo very low. It looks as though LYD is going to be taken down by Sleepwalker. WBG picking up a kill here. Could be huge for them. But Wolves also in a really solid position. XCM has used that Yueshan ultimate now. EG taking a little bit of damage from Xiaonan's Farrier ult there. But he's in a very good position to use this Monk ultimate very, very well. They've positioned themselves over in the open. And we've got so many players lurking on this building, trying to hold their ground to avoid any incoming projectiles. Kakaishi takes to the sky, airwalking with that pistol to try and buy more time. Try and stay airborne. Baige now looking for these bow shots. Wuxin taken down very low. He jumping in with that F1, looking for the uppercut, finds it onto Wuxin, gets the R&B focus. Now Wuxin doesn't have that Mortal Defiance proc, neither does WFZ. The Hepta Detach comes through from Axial, but unfortunately not able to get the confirmation. A teleport comes out from a Wuchen. OEG's the king, extremely low, getting knocked into the zone. Wolves EG throwing hands now, gets one grab. Can he get the second? Goes for the slam, gets taken down very low though. ZK not able to keep him alive, as I think he's running that V2, the armor circle as opposed to that health circle, not able to keep him alive during that transformation. Baige now going for these explosive openers with these golden dual blades. The ultimate is active. He has one Fury Blast left to go. XCM trying to protect his teammate. Now the tether's going to come through from ZK, looking to try and get EG back on his feet. WBG has lost a member. Sleepwalker is down for the count. They're looking for this resurrection, but again, it's also extremely difficult with NiHQ in the back on that Farrier. And the Farrier Mag just sending out these turret shots, constantly deterring them, constantly pushing them back. Kakaishi now goes to pick up that armor with that advance. He is going to be able to get himself a full golden armor on that Hardy pick. It's going to be very good for him. They have picked up quite a few kills now as well. XCG climbing the leaderboard. Bowder also on 7. WBG last man standing, trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, just not in a good position. He almost has his ultimate, but he is going to be taken down by One Fang. JL looking to try and pick up as many kills as possible. Now EG also having been resurrected, not able to buy enough time to get his ultimate back up, now goes down. And it's not looking too good. I'm pretty sure Wolves only has their one member left alive, but it's the Clutch King, XCM, but he's not able to clutch this one out. No, sir. Kakaishi takes him down with that hardy ultimate, healing as much as he can while he's still airborne. Now grappling up, trying to stay in the air. JLVVV on the ground in that Zai ultimate, trying to put as much fire damage as he can onto the field. Zhao Nan takes him down though. Peak also taking people down, and Kakaishi and Peak are going to be the last men standing. Kakaishi is going to win it out for his team, and XCG popping off in the end.